This is the beginning of something huge, as another Boston Bruins prospect is set to make their NHL debut tonight against the Chicago Blackhawks. We're going to be talking about who this is and what this means for the Boston Bruins going forward. We also have some updates regarding the health of Mark Kastelic and Charlie McAvoy and their status for the rest of the season, so be sure to stick around, find out all of this news that we have here today. But very quickly, before we jump into this video, if you haven't already, be sure to hit the sub button, join me here on the channel. We're covering everything Boston Bruins, but we also have a lot of news coming here as the offseason gets closer and closer. With the Bruins being eliminated from the playoffs and 3 games to go in the regular season, we're going to be breaking down so much draft stuff, so much free agency stuff. You're not going to want to miss it, and you're going to get the early beats here on the channel, so be sure to hit the sub button. But without any further ado, let's get into this video here. Starting off with our first screenshot, which of course is Riley Duran, a player called up for tonight's game, making his NHL debut, a player that we've been waiting a long time for, and those who have been here for quite some time know how hyped I am about him. So personally, this is one of my favorite moves of the season, calling him up and getting a game in here on the season. I want to start off here with this screenshot from Andrew going over the NHL Bruins have recalled Riley Duran on an emergency basis and sent Patrick Brown back down to the AHL. Duran was a 6th round pick back in 2020 and is from Woburn. Now, he's been in this organization since 2020. He's been a guy that I've seen really take a big step in his development. Someone I've been, as you know, very, very high on here if you've been on the channel for a little while, and I believe he's one of the prospects the Boston Bruins have that is very sneaky when it does come down to his development and how his game will translate to the NHL level. Now, since he's been in the in the organization since 2020, a lot of people have been really weary about his development, wondering why he has not yet cracked a NHL level and, remaining at Providence and in the college level for a little bit. But his development was one that we knew it was going to take a little bit of time coming out of college. Once he got drafted in 2020, we knew this guy in the 6th round was going to be someone that the Bruins wanted, someone that would fit well into the system, but someone that was still going to take just a little bit of time. And we have a new screenshot here, or a new little animation going over Riley Duran, little breakdown from him, who he is, where he's coming from, kind of stats in the past. So let me know if you like this kind of format, and, we can really put anything we want here in this. But going over, was a 6th round draft pick, 182nd overall in the 2020 NHL draft. Over 3 seasons with Providence College, he had 27 goals. Not really known for his goal scoring, but he is a very good player all around. He's known for his all-around game, and one that the Boston Bruins certainly would like to use. And we've kind of seen some players around the Boston Bruins organization lately in the development and things like that the team is really trying to get an all-around player. They're not going for just goal scoring. They're not going for just defensive ability. They're kind of looking for a player that can do a bit of everything. Really replacing Bergeron and Krejci from a few years ago. They've still yet to do that. Tried with Elias Lindholm this year. Not working out just yet, but as his contract is quite a long one for 7 years, going after year 1, I can really see a big bounce back from him, and keeping that game simple, keeping everything the way that it's supposed to be is one that the Boston Bruins are really going to strive for here in Elias Lindholm and Riley Duran as well here. We're going to get a good look at him tonight. In 12 goals and 4 assists in 58 games with Providence this season in his first professional year. Spent most of his time in the bottom 6 down in the AHL, which really is not going to be able to give you a good look at him as a player, but we know the Providence Bruins have been very good this year. They've been hoarding a lot of the Bruins' talent down there this year because we've seen that Don Sweeney has not really called up anybody until this point recently, where we have Lysell up, Merkulov came up twice this season, now Riley Duran, Fraser Minton just got called up from a trade from that trade at the deadline. The Bruins are really trying to get a few things here, working out how we're going to look next season, and it's really the beginning of something major when it does come down to the outcome, the outlook of next season and this Boston Bruins team with who's going to be on the roster. And as I've mentioned the past few videos, and we're going to get deeper into this, of course, as the postseason starts and the Bruins ultimately are going to be starting their offseason, we're going to be looking at how this lineup could, line up next season, who could crack this roster, and who's going to be fighting for a very good spot here. And Riley Duran, maybe a bit biased, but is one that I'm a major fan of. As you see at the bottom there, a very good all-around game. Someone that I'm very excited to see at this level really be given the opportunity. And even though there's only 3 games remaining in this season, even though there's only a few games remaining that he'll be given an opportunity, it's going to be one that we're going to see a very good opportunity out of him here. Now, this is what Riley Duran had to say about his opportunity. I'm super excited. Just honestly a dream come true. It still hasn't really hit me yet. I ended up going home for dinner last night and eating with my family. They were all shocked, but hard work pays off. He is a family man. He is a guy that you want to have on your roster, and I'm very excited to see this translate here into his hockey game, into his professional career now as he gets kicked off in the NHL, and hopefully we see him up here for the long haul. And of course, the only end of this season is 3 games, but I want to see him back up next season at the beginning. So let me know what you think about Riley Duran here as a player, as someone who is really going to come into this organization, really into this Boston Bruins organization, and really have a good time with it. He's going to have fun with it. He's been a guy that's having fun his entire career. And as a center, we know the Bruins need him, and I'm very excited to see how this does progress. So let me know what you think. But we also do have some more updates here regarding the Boston Bruins roster at this very moment. And coming from Joe Haggerty here, Mark Kastelic was back in a no-contact jersey at skate this morning. He will not be an option for the rest of the season. And the same thing with Charlie McAvoy in terms of not playing for the rest of the year. We speculated here. I've been a big advocate and don't need to bring him back. There's no point in bringing him back for 2 to 3 games, getting a risk of re-injury and causing a lot more problems than we already have. That's something that I've been adamant on. And it seems like the Bruins also kind of thought about this, realized it was the right decision, and also given the Bruins, once again, another better opportunity at the 4th or higher overall pick in this year's draft. Now, one thing I was a little bit concerning here, one thing that I want to see, really touched on a bit here in the offseason from the Boston Bruins is the health of Charlie McAvoy over the years. Now, I have his stats here going over his season-by-season rankings on HockeyDB. You see, he's never played a full season in the NHL. A full 82-game season, I should say, as well, because we know that there were some years there in 2020 to 2021, all of that, where the league was shortened. But when you're going over his full career from 2016-17, where he played in Providence, to 2017-18, when he got to the Boston Bruins organization, came to 24-25 this season, no 82-game seasons. His health has been a bit of a concern for Charlie McAvoy in the past few seasons, but he's still been a major part of this team, and I want to see the Bruins try and do something, and I know it's not as easy as said than done, but I want to see them tackle something on the health of Charlie McAvoy. It's obviously been an issue. It's something that's been plaguing the Boston Bruins for the last little while, and obviously the Four Nations face-off was the reason that it happened this year, and wasn't really part of the Boston Bruins system. It was all due to the management there and the staff and the coaching staff, or the doctor staff, I guess we could say, on that Four Nations team, which really the Boston Bruins were not happy with. So I'm interested to see if anything does kind of come out of this here in the offseason, but it really does suck to see Charlie McAvoy, a guy who's been so, exactly what the Bruins needed, so perfect for this team, and ultimately not being able to play a full season due to health. And it does suck to see from a Bruins fan, from, just Charlie McAvoy as a person. It really does. It is unfortunate to see him come out here and not be able to play his game at a full healthy level. But with all of that said and done, let me know what you think about all of this. Obviously, the injuries are something that we kind of expected. We didn't really want to see these guys back here in the lineup due to their injuries and whatnot. Obviously, I want to see these guys back on the ice. Mark Kastelic, an absolute dog, got the extension earlier this season. Charlie McAvoy, the best defenseman on the Boston Bruins, needed him for the majority of the season. Him and Elias Lindholm being out for quite a bit of the season really hampered the Bruins' chances at anything this year. But, health and, the priority of the injuries comes first for the Boston Bruins. And good thing these guys are out, because we want to see them get healthy, get ready for next season. We're going to get a big bounce back with Riley Duran coming in here this game. Getting a look at what he's going to bring to the table next year is something that we're going to have to keep an eye on. So be sure to do that. Let me know what you think about him in the comments below. But I do have one final quote here from Joe Sacco about the two players that we just mentioned in Charlie McAvoy and Mark Kastelic. So the bottom line is where they're not ready. They are right now in the process. We feel the medical staff feels they're not ready to play just yet in these last 3 games. So really kind of topping it off there for Joe Sacco. Team's not ready to bring them back. The players I don't think are ready to come back. Obviously they wanted to, but we know that priority is getting them healthy for next season. So let me know what you think about Riley Duran, the injuries, all this stuff down below. And we're going to be touching on a little very interesting thing in the next video about a prospect the Bruins could be looking to draft outside of the top 4. So be sure to stick around for that in the next video. But that's all I got in this one. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button as well. But I'm signing out. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.